Hey friends, I'm sorry this is actually really blurry. I'm holding it. I'm not in my normal stand-up position. I'm actually in bed leaning against my wall. So today is November the 8th, 2021. I am just about 1 week post-op of my ovaries and fallopian tube removal. I still have my uterus because my uterus looked fine and it doesn't produce estrogen, so she thought, why necessary pain when you don't need it? So this is a little update of what has happened between February and now since my last surgery and whatnot. I do have a lot of hair now. I'll just show you real quick. However, that's what it looks like, so that is why we are in our little cappy cap. It took a while to heal from breast surgery, more emotionally than physically. There were some very, very, very dark days in the last, my son's 7, so that was, that was 8, so it's been about 8 months. So I don't know when, because I have really no concept of time, obviously. I have to think it out real hard. But there had been some really, really dark give up days. And I admit that because people don't realize that it's not easy to fight every single day. And to wake up and be sick and tired of being sick and tired. I guess that's why I'm filming today, because I'm having one of those days. In all fairness, right now, I have no estrogen coursing through my body other than whatever natural estrogen you get through foods and whatever. So my emotions and hormones are all over the place. I'm not on any of my medications until tonight when I go to bed, because I'm not supposed to. And I'm hoping that tomorrow is better once I get back on my antidepressants. And I got on antidepressants. It's been a while now, and they've really helped with the menopause symptoms, and they've really helped with my mood swings, because it's not just PMS, and it's not girls are moody, and it's not you're just being batshit crazy and you're over emotional. And you're right now I am. Right now, everything is overwhelming. My son is screaming that he's hungry, and I'm aggravated. And we're not a spank family. We don't believe in that. I don't believe that hitting a child is going to make them stop this behavior, because all it does is make you fear your parent. Hi. So, no. Anyway, I just wanted to put him in timeout because he's crying because he's hungry. He's 2. And he's screaming. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. This is extremely hard. This is a fucking disease that never goddamn ends. Like, I am going on, I think, 18 months now of this shit. Of cancer and everything cancer. Last month I had an appointment, I think every day but 4 days. It's a full-time job. It is a full-time job to be sick. And on top of having a full-time job of being sick, you need to have a full-time job to pay for insurance in order to pay for said sickness. But if you don't have a full-time job, you can't get insurance. So what you do is you quit your job in April, because they want your chemo ass that's going through treatment to come in, and some of the requests they asked are just ridiculous. So I quit. I quit without notice. Not my thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was a good decision. But now I'm going to get real with some numbers and let you in on some of my financial business, because it needs to be addressed to people. I quit in April. I had health insurance just for me because we were getting ready to decide what we were going to do about adding on the kids and everything. And Keisha still had, we paid everything out of pocket for her whole pregnancy because we did midwife and all that stuff. And then Nico has state insurance, you know, because he's our little adopted lovey. And I just said my kid's name. I don't know if I've done that yet, but whatever, I did. And then the baby, we were just trying to figure out what to do with him, right? Well, I quit my job before we figured that out, and had the time. I quit my job 10 days after he was born. I was in the hospital, and I quit my job. Oh, by the way, just for the record, if you have an infection of any kind, and you're a natural fast healer before cancer and chemo and all that bullshit, keep an eye on it. Don't think it's going to just heal. It's not going to act right. You're going to end up in the hospital for 5 days, and you're going to miss the first 5 days of your son's life, the first 2 weeks of his life. You know, assuming that your situation's like mine. Pay attention. Pay attention to your wounds. I can't say that enough. Pay attention. Don't pick. I'm a picker. If you look a little closely, I already picked my face. I scratched it because there's a bump. So, okay. Quit my job. My insurance out of pocket is $600. $600 for insurance. I live in Nevada. Nevada is not exactly cheap. It is not California, New York by any means, but $600 is about half my rent. Okay? But if I don't pay that, my chemo, I didn't even ask how much my chemo would have been. My radiation, I didn't even ask about my surgery because I didn't have to deal with it at that point. I asked, what if I have to pay out of pocket? I'm about to go to radiation. What do I have to do? And they're like, oh, well, you can pay out of pocket. That's totally fine. Okay, how much is it? And I'm like preparing myself of like figuring out how to do a payment plan and all this stuff because I just can't afford an extra $600 a month on top of everything when I was paying $30 a month for my insurance. We need Medicare, like all, or what is that word? I don't have words right now because my brain is a fog. But you know what I'm trying, universal healthcare. Thank you. Thanks whoever said that in their brain. I go in and I'm like, how much is it? She's like, oh, well, it's about $80,000. I stopped breathing and I was like, I have 30 days of radiation. That's it. I have 30 days of consecutive radiation minus the weekends, right? And that's $80,000. She's like, yeah. I said, okay. But she goes, oh, but you have to pay half up front before we can treat you. You think that I got 40G just sitting in the bank when I am asking you how much it is out of pocket? 40 up for $80,000 to stay alive. To stay alive. What happens if I don't have insurance and I can't pay $40,000 up front? You know what happens? I don't get treated. And chances are I would have died because the radiation, I'm sure, did some stuff. Okay. All right, fine. Get done with my radiation. Still paying that $600. Doctor says, hey, there's this new drug that's on the market I've been trying to get you on since you first got diagnosed. It's FDA approved now. Why don't you see if your insurance will approve it? And I'm like, okay, great. It's like a chemo pill. I get this pill plus my daily pill that I have to take for the next 10 years, and I get a shot in my ass. This trifecta, until I get my ovaries out, is supposed to keep the cancer away. I'm like, fuck it, fine. Okay, I'll keep paying $600 so I can do this. Call this special pharmacy calls me, and they send it to me in a nice little bag that screams, oh, you know what? Here, it's right here. Let me show you. Nice little bag. So everybody knows this is a chemo drug, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take it because it's gonna save my life. So again, I'm getting ready to write the $600 check, and I'm like, all right, I'm done with this. I can cover my office visits out of pocket. That's fine. Okay. Then I call it when I refill my package, my prescription, because it's only a 28-day supply, and you have to call and have it refilled every 2 weeks, right? Or it's a 28 pill supply. You take 2 a day. That's why I got confused. Sorry. So I call and I was like, hey, how much is this out of pocket if I don't have insurance? Like, I'm trying to debate like what I can do. And she's like, okay, let me check, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, $14,000 for your 28 pills. As of right now, I have consumed $104,000 in just those pills since August, end of July, actually. Who can afford that? So I write my $600 check. Anyway, it just makes no sense to me. And I know that this industry is money, 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 money. And I know that cancer, like every other day I'm turning around, somebody's diagnosed with cancer. Like, I'm not special. Actually, I don't want to be special. Like, take it away. I don't want it. But anyway, so you mix all that, and I'm trying to focus on life, and we're trying to pay bills, and then you're going to take me off my meds. Oh, and by the way, these meds suck. I think they were doing more harm than good. Everybody's different, but they put me in such despair that I had contemplated being done with life. Now, I've done a pretty damn good job of being positive and up and up and up. And like, okay, there's a reason. And I had to sit there and fight myself for 3 days. 3 days. Okay, I can't leave my wife. I can't leave my 2 kids. Okay, keep fighting. And then I get up and I move. And I'm in such pain. I'm in pain all the time. And then I'm like, okay, but I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of putting myself as a burden on my wife, who is sick and tired, I'm sure, of taking care of me and taking care of our kids. As, like, let's face it, she's a single parent. I can't contribute a lot because I don't have energy. Also, fun fact, I developed, I don't know the right word, lymphedema in my arm after my breast surgery, after taking so many lymph nodes. I can't lift more than probably 10 pounds. Screwing things is hard. I'm officially weak. I've always played off that I'm weak and I need somebody else to do it, but reality is if I needed to move that damn TV, I would have moved that damn TV. But I have a wife that I'm like, hey babe, you want to move the TV? Because, I call her my big strong lesbian for a reason. But now, I can't even hold my son. My son, 7 months old, he's 25 pounds, granted. And my 2-year-old is granted like 26 pounds, maybe 29. I don't know. I can't hold them. So now I have to battle lymphedema. I'm all over the place, so please forgive this whole video because, again, I tell you that I am detoxing from narcotics from my surgery and I am not on meds. So now I have a chronic disease. I don't just have cancer. I now have lymphedema, which can get worse or better. I have a sleeve that they had to custom make because I have to wear it every single day. I also have what's called a trunk vest, which, way to make a girl feel even fatter when you call me a trunk, that I have to wear. It's a compression vest for the lymphedema in my chest. Then I also have to have one in my hand because my hand swells. So for the rest of my fucking life, I have to wear these compression sleeve hand trunk thing in order to make sure that this doesn't cause more pain. I also have a giant ass machine that I plug in that pumps air and rolls my skin up and down into other lymph nodes that I don't have because I don't have very many left. Honestly, it actually feels good, but it's an hour where I have to lay on my back stiff and still. And I have to lay evenly because if I don't lay evenly, it hurts. And like the pressure of the, oh yeah, you see the swelling? The air doesn't move right. So then I'm dealing with that. Okay. Now I have my ovaries out and I have my emotions everywhere. I have a chronic disease. I have my wife who's putting up with way more than she should because I'm all over the fucking place and can't stop crying over obviously little things. And I don't know why I started, I needed to circle back somehow and I don't remember how to circle back. Because you can call me Dory. I literally have no I have a hard time with words also. I see them in my head and I can't always spit them out. I have no recognition. I can't remember. I can't say the word. I can't remember a conversation that I've had yesterday. I'm in the middle of a conversation with my sister-in-law today. Today's Monday. She's coming to town tomorrow. We have a work meeting thing Wednesday. I forget. And she had to correct me like 3 times in our 10-minute conversations. That could be exaggerating, but something like that. And now I'm saying that because I can't remember what else I was going to say. I'm trying to remember what else has happened in between. So I had my breast surgery. I've made peace with what my body looks like. I've made peace that just about everything that makes me a woman is gone. I've lost more of my ass through all this, which is okay, can at least have a nice ass out of all this. Oh, and then you find out, by the way, when you have menopause, you know, a lot of people know this, you get the night sweats and whatever, you gain weight. After all this stuff, I've tried to lose weight and get healthier. My taste, oh, that's what it was. My taste buds, circling back to the chemo drugs, making me feel like shit. Everything tasted awful, metallic-y, salty, disgusting. I had a hard time eating. For about 2 weeks, I lived off of Special K cereal, plain cereal, and oat milk, and the Runts candy. Like, so much so that I still have some by my bed. Don't judge me. Do not judge the fact that I ordered like a package of 12. And I probably ate 1.5 boxes a day. You're probably thinking, well, that's why you're fat. No, that's what I could tolerate. I could tolerate the acidity, you know, the spice of it. Fuck. And nothing else sounded good. So what that does is also, it's counteractive. But when nothing tastes good and you have a hard time stomaching anything because you just know it's going to be disgusting and you have nothing in life, you're still quarantined. You're still quarantined in bed. Or in your house because you can't really go out because people are stupid and thinking that, hey, pandemic's over, we're not going to wear masks, but we're not going to tell you we don't have the vaccine. Anyway, there's my story. Wear a mask or get the fucking vaccine. If you don't get the fucking vaccine, don't be a twat. Sorry if my grandparents are watching this, but don't be a fucking twat. There's my soapbox. Anyhow, where I was circling back was, I've had a lot of drugs go through my body. I'm not a drinker. I'm actually 15 years clean and sober from hard drugs. I have done CBD or whatever for like sleep in the last couple years. But that's it. It's not a drug. I don't really drink. I basically only drink when my in-laws make me cheers for holidays. So that being said, when she went into my ovaries, she saw that I had a very fatty liver. And she is also one of those doctors that has seen me 1.5 times and looks at me and goes, everything that's wrong with you is because you're fat. She didn't have to say it, but you women know what I'm saying. When you have that doctor that's like, what are you eating every day? I'm on fucking chemo pills. I'm on all this stuff. I'm recovering. Nothing tastes good. So you're right. I'm not eating a nutritious, balanced meal. Thanks. That is my goal. Once I get off these meds, my ovaries are out and I can like start to move and cook and actually make meals for my family again. So I have this fatty liver and I've had to defend myself repeatedly that I am not a drinker. That is not because I drink. You want to know what that's from? That's from chemo. That's from all the pills. I used to take 10 pills a day. 10. That might not seem like a lot to some of you, but to me, that's a lot. That's 10 pills that I'm filtering through my already killed off liver. My liver that I've killed off through chemo and everything else. So now I had to do, on the day of my surgery, a 180. 180? 360? No, 360 is all the way around. 180. I had to do a 180 and change my entire diet. And I don't know what happened, if it's because I hadn't been on my pills for a week or prior to, like I haven't been on for like 2 weeks. I had to get off them. Is that right? I don't know. I've been off them for a while, but I don't know if that happened or if I got it like flicked in my head that said, we're not going through surgery again. We're not doing this bullshit ever again. We're not going through all this. So you need to make a change. You want to know something? I've lost 9 pounds since Tuesday. It is Monday. So she also thinks that I need to lose a lot more weight, which, hey, hello, I've been trying my whole life. But I will make even more of an effort so that I can stick around for my kids. But my whole point, now I remember, circling back, Mare, circling back, is that I have done a shit ton of research in the last week about non-alcoholic disease fatty livers, right? What causes them, what meds cause them. 3 of my meds that I take daily cause liver failure. That's great. Guess who's going to stop taking those and deal with some major heartburn and some other things? So these things, a majority of it is caused by chemo. Who knew? And all the pills and everything that's filtering through my system. And that is why my doctor told me not to do weed as a supplement for like pain meds, because my liver's already working really hard on supplementing and filtering out things. Stupid me believed her. Later on my last appointment with her, my very last one, and I told her, I said, hey, I'm gonna get off some of these pain meds and I'm gonna do CBD and THC to help with like sleep in my pain so I can fucking sleep. Because I haven't slept in a week because I'm off my meds. Because I'm scared. Anyway, I actually have to be off my meds. But anyway, I haven't taken any extra pain meds or anything like that because I don't want to fuck with my liver anymore. God, I lost it. I remember that point, but I remember this point. This could have all been forewarned, other than, yeah, chemo's gonna mess with your body. We're killing it's killing everything in your body, and we're gonna build you back up. But you couldn't have said, hey, there's a real good chance, one, that you're overweight, that your diet's gonna be really sucky, that because you're on chemo and you're gonna be in bed and you're having all these surgeries and you're gonna feel fatigued and tired, you're probably not gonna get a lot of exercise, so fatty liver is probably gonna be a really good idea. I'll be there in just a second. And so, like, if she would have just given me a forewarning, or after surgery when I call her and say, hey, my surgeon just said I needed to call you ASAP, let you know that this is what's going on. And the nurse calls back and says, oh, whatever, follow up with a GI and whatever you can. It's not life-threatening. Okay, I don't know about you, but I don't know much. But if you see these pictures, which I can't show you because I don't have them, you'd be like, that looks pretty bad. You could have warned me that, hey, as soon as you can, try to make sure that you are doing the best you can to eat high fiber and not saturated, and not give in to your cravings for chemo as much, because that's what you can eat, but try to filter in some other things too. So even though Runts and fucking Special K taste really good, maybe put in like a fruit smoothie in there. Like, force yourself to. Because my wife has tried for months to try to get me to eat something healthy, but honestly, every time I thought about it, I was like, bleh. But if my doctor would have warned me and said, there's a very good chance that your next problem could be this, and this could totally affect your life, but it's totally easy to fix if you're not a drinker. Because all you really have, actually, if you're a drinker, it's actually easier. All you have to do is stop drinking for 2 weeks, and you can automatically see a difference. I have to lose 10% of my body weight in order to see a difference starting. And then I basically have to get down to a skinny girl So like I got to get down to like a 14, 16, you know. Like I'm not there. I actually have no idea. I haven't even worn jeans in forever. I live in leggings and tank tops. That's beside the point. I don't really know the point sometimes. I guess my point is if you know somebody after this long ass video and you're still fucking here, hey, thanks for listening to me ramble, and it actually makes me feel better that you're listening to me cry and ramble on about this bullshit with diseases. But if somebody you know has two things, if I can remember them both, if they have an inkling that their oncologist is maybe not the right one, but they feel bad changing because like you've already started this whole regime, like you're already like a few chemos in or a few things in, like I don't know if I want to change a doctor, but if you feel that feeling like you're not getting what you need and like it doesn't feel right, change, do it. Get a second opinion, go to a second doctor, do it. Doesn't matter. I wish I would have. Two, ask all these questions. What are the repercussions afterwards? After my final step, when I finally get my final thing done, I should be done. I should be fucking done. My ovaries and shit are out. I should be done. What do I do after? What do I need to do in order to heal and move up? Do I have any side effects that are going to be long term aside from like the instant chemo? I should have asked those questions. I should have asked, what are the possibilities that I might have to deal with afterwards? She also didn't tell me that I was going to have more fatigue. By the way, Google the difference between fatigue and tired. Big difference. Didn't know that. The fatigue sometimes hits you harder after than it does during. At least for me, it did. So, thanks for listening to my TED Talk and whatnot. And I'm sorry that if you don't know me, this whole video totally makes sense to the people who speak Mare. Like if you don't know me like super close, you don't speak Mare, but like 3 people are gonna understand this whole video, and the rest of you are gonna be like, next video, I'm gonna go watch some Bailey Sarian and Murder Mystery Makeup. Okay, bye. Thanks. Thanks for all your love.